Welcome to the Morning Download Podcast, your go-to resource for personal finance, economics, and market insights. In just 8 minutes a day, we provide valuable information to help you make better money decisions. Don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter at https://w.morningdownload.com. Subscribe. Let's dive right in. In today's episode, we'll cover falling gas prices and their impact on retail stocks, the effects of oil price drops and the UK minimum wage increase, the rebound of global smartphone sales and its impact on various retailers, the positive outlook for the crypto world despite recent events, strategies to maximize retirement contributions and save on taxes, and the importance of recognizing the limitations of low-income opportunities.
Hey there, investors. How's it going? We hope you had an awesome Thanksgiving and are all geared up to make some serious moolah. Speaking of Thanksgiving, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that the average household supposedly splurged around $107.01 on gobbling up turkey, stuffing, and all those mind-blowing fixings this year? That's a whole lot of deliciousness right there. Today we'll talk about several things, including the changing economical situation. It looks like gas prices might be headed downwards, which is good news for all of us. Oil prices dropped over 4% on Wednesday and further on Thursday because a big group of oil-producing countries decided to delay a meeting they were supposed to have about making further cuts to global supply. Now, this meeting is scheduled for November 30th. Why the delay? Well, they didn't really give a reason, but according to Reuters, there seems to be some disagreement about current production levels and possible cuts by certain members. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens at the end of the month. But let's talk about gas prices. They've been going down in the country, and that's helping inflation stay under 4%. Right now, the price stands at $81.36, which is 8% lower than it was just a month ago and 10% lower than this time last year. That's definitely good news for anyone who owns a car. Now, why are we seeing these lower prices? Well, there are a couple of reasons. One is that the U.S. has been increasing its supply of oil, which helps bring prices down. And secondly, there's been a decrease in global demand, which also puts downward pressure on prices. Despite all this, remember that OPEC Plus made a pledge back in April to cut total output, but it seems like those cuts haven't been enough to counter the other factors at play. In other news, we have some global updates. Jack Ma, the billionaire founder of Alibaba, has decided to halt his plans to reduce his stake in the company. Over in the UK, the minimum wage is expected to rise by a significant 8% to £11, 44 per hour starting in April 2024. Finally, mortgage rates have fallen for the fourth week in a row, but they're still sitting above 7%. So if you're in the market for a new home, it's worth keeping an eye on those rates. Great news for smartphone companies like Apple and Samsung. The global smartphone market saw a 5% year-on-year increase in October after declining for the past 27 months. And what's even better is that this trend is expected to continue into 2024. Currently, Samsung is still leading the pack with a 20% market share, followed closely by Apple with a 16% share. Xiaomi, a Chinese brand, takes the third spot with a 12% share. We can't forget about other Chinese manufacturers like Oppo and Vivo, who also have a considerable market share. But unfortunately, the retail sector isn't enjoying the same success. In fact, several retailers have recently projected weak fourth quarter outlooks. Giants like Nordstrom, Walmart, Target, and Best Buy are not expecting impressive figures. It's a tough time for them. Oh, and by the way, a little side note. Sam Altman is making a return as the CEO of OpenAI. Quite a surprising development. Over the past few days, things have been relatively quiet. Sure, there was that whole Binance fiasco where users withdrew over $1 billion from the exchange. But despite that, the overall sentiment seems to be positive. Why, you may ask? Well, Bitcoin is currently trading above $37K, which is definitely a good sign. Looking ahead, analysts are predicting a bull market in 2024, so that's something to keep an eye on. But right now, all eyes are focused on the Bitcoin ETF. It's a hot topic of discussion and could have a significant impact on the crypto market. Now let's move on to some interesting stats. Did you know that the Bitcoin supply continues to decrease? In fact, it's now at a record high of 70%. However, despite all the positive news, we can't ignore the fact that hacks are still quite common in the crypto world. The latest victim? HTX. let's talk about a smart way to save on income taxes, maxing out your retirement accounts and taking advantage of employee benefits. Now, this advice primarily applies to those in the US, but do some research because many countries have similar programs. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's clarify what it means to max out your retirement account. Essentially, it's contributing the maximum amount allowed while also matching your employer's contribution match. Keep in mind that contribution limits change each year. Currently, the cap is set at $22,500, but if you're 50 or older, you can contribute up to $30,000. In 2024, we'll see some increases in contribution limits. For example, the maximum for 401(k), 403(b), and most 457 plans will jump from $22,500 to $23,000. Additionally, individual retirement accounts will have a contribution limit of $7,000, up from $6,500. Be aware that these figures phase out based on your adjusted gross income, with different thresholds for singles and couples. So how does maxing out your retirement account impact your taxes? Well, the amount you contribute is tax deductible, meaning it reduces your taxable income. This applies to various retirement accounts, like 401(k) and 403(b) plans. Now, what if you don't have a retirement plan? No worries, there are other options. You can contribute up to $6,500 or $7,500 if you're 50 or older to a traditional individual retirement account and still enjoy a tax break. However, keep in mind that the Secure Act could impact your taxes based on your income level. So take a closer look at what it says. Remember, saving money on taxes through maxing out retirement accounts and employee benefits might not be the best strategy for everyone, but if you're in a position to do so, it's definitely worth considering. Have you ever found yourself putting in immense effort into something that only yields a small return? Well, today's personal finance quote by Idawu Koyenikan perfectly captures that situation. He said, "When you work on something that only has the capacity to make you $5, it does not matter how much harder you work. The most you will make is $5. Think about it. We often get caught up in the idea that if we work harder or put in more time, we'll eventually see a larger payoff. But sometimes that just isn't the case. If the opportunity or project we're investing in has a limited earning potential, no matter how much effort we put in, we'll never make more than that predefined amount. This quote serves as a reminder to be mindful of where we invest our time, energy, and resources. It encourages us to seek out opportunities and projects that have a higher earning potential, where our hard work can truly pay off. So before you embark on any endeavor, take a moment to assess its capacity to generate substantial returns. Remember, it's not about working harder, but about working on things that have the potential to yield greater rewards.
In this episode, we discussed the impact of falling gas prices on retail stocks, the drop in oil prices and its effects on inflation and mortgage rates, the rebound in global smartphone sales and its implications for Apple and Samsung, the positive outlook for the crypto world despite recent events, the importance of maximizing retirement contributions to save on taxes, and the wisdom of pursuing opportunities that have the potential to make more than just $5. Thanks for tuning into the Morning Download, your go-to podcast for personal finance, economics, and market insights in just 8 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe for more helpful content and sign up for our free newsletter at Morning Download. Subscribe.